Good morning, students. Today we'll be starting the first chapter of science. The name of the chapter is Sources of Food. In this chapter, we will be learning about need for food, variety of food, feeding habits of organisms, sources of food material, food from parts of plant, food from animal products. All this topic will be covering under this lesson. Let us start. If you have textbook, please open the textbook. If you don't have the textbook, it's okay. Follow what I am reading, okay? All living things, plants, animals, including human beings, need energy to live and grow. They get this energy from food. Thus, food acts as fuel for all living organisms and helps them to do various day-to-day activities efficiently. So all living organisms need food to get energy for growth and development, for repair and maintenance of body, to fight diseases, to regulate all the body functions. Okay. See, students, we will have food daily, no? We'll have food daily 3 times. Why should we have food? Because food is a very important requirement of all living things, not only human beings, all the living things like plants, animals, microorganisms, human beings, all living things require food. Why is food so important? Food will provide living organism the required energy to do their day-to-day activities. Also, food will help the living organisms to grow. Okay. Let us see what is the importance of food. The first importance is food will give us energy. See, we will do many activities in a day. We will read, we will play, we will do some work in our home. For all these activities, where will we get energy? We will get this energy from food. See, if you have a car or a bike, you will add petrol to that car and bike, no? Then only we can run the bike or the car. Similarly, food acts as the fuel for living organisms. It will provide the energy to do day-to-day activities. Okay. Second point is for growth and development of the body. See, when you were a small kid, what was your height and weight? It was very less, correct? No. Now it has increased. You have grown. Your height has also increased. Your weight has also increased. How is it possible? This is possible because food gives us nutrients. These nutrients will help us to grow. These nutrients will increase the number of cells in our body, and this increase in cells will help us to grow. Okay. Next point is for repair and maintenance of the body. See, during day-to-day activities like what do you call, like lifting something or doing day-to-day work, during playing, many cells will get damaged. Also, when you meet with some accident, when you fall, you will have some cuts and bruises, no? During that time also your cells will be damaged. Food will provide the nutrients to repair this damaged cells, and food will repair this damaged cell and bring it back to its original form. Okay, so food is required. Next point is to fight diseases. See, food will provide all the 6 nutrients required to the body. Okay. Once we get all the 6 nutrients in the correct form, our body's immune system will become strong. This immune system will fight against diseases. How is diseases caused? Diseases are caused by harmful microorganisms. Okay. So our if we eat proper food, our immune system will become strong and we will be free from diseases. Okay. Last point is to regulate all body functions. See, each and every organ in our body has its own work. Okay. Lungs is used for breathing. Heart is used for pumping blood to all parts of the body. Stomach is required for digestion. Correct? No, they have their own functions. See, where do these organs get energy from? They get energy from food itself. If they don't get energy, they cannot work properly. Okay, so only food will help our body to regulate different functions. Okay, see, there is an activity here. You should write 5 names of your friends, or now you are not coming to school. No, you can write 5 names of your family members or any neighbors. Okay, and write 5 food items which they eat. Okay, you do this activity. This is your homework. Okay, next, come to the last paragraph. Different people eat different types of food according to their habits, lifestyle, taste, and availability. Human beings are omnivorous, which means we eat food obtained from plants as well as from animals. On this basis, people are classified as vegetarians and non vegetarians. See, human beings are omnivorous. What is omnivorous animals? Omnivorous animals means they eat both food from plants and also from animals. Okay, they eat both plant products and animal products. They are called as omnivorous animals. Human beings are omnivorous animals. If human beings eat only plant and its products as food, they will be called as vegetarians. If human beings eat both animal products and plant products, they will be called as what? Non-vegetarians. Okay, please come to the next page. Here again they have given a table. You should write any 5 names of your neighbors or of your family members and write whether they are vegetarians or non-vegetarians. Okay, see, in this page they have given the definition of vegetarian and non-vegetarian. I'll read that. See, people who eat only plant products or parts of plants are called vegetarian. I have already explained this. Okay. People who eat plant products as well as animal products such as meat, fish, etc. are called non-vegetarians. Now, this is the definition of vegetarians and non-vegetarians. Okay. Now coming to the next para. Different kinds of food are eaten in different regions of India, like South Indian food, Gujarati food, Rajasthani food, Punjabi food, Bengali food, etc. See, India is a diverse country. Each and every part or each and every state of India has its own culture and lifestyle. Okay. Similarly, the food habits of different states and different parts of India also differ. See, in South India, we grow more rice, correct? No? So, we are more dependent on rice. Okay. Which are the famous South Indian dishes? Idli, sambar, rice sambar, dosa. These are all the South Indian dishes which are famous. When you come to North India, they grow more wheat. Okay. So they will use more roti, chapati as their food. Okay. That is the differences in food in India. All the regions of the Indian country have their own type of food. Okay. Next, come to this box inside. Food is inside. Food is made up of two or more materials added together. Example, cooked rice is made up of rice, salt and water. These material are called ingredients of food. Common example are water, salt, sugar, spices, milk, ghee, butter, oil, etc. See, when your mother prepares food, she will not add only one item. Okay, she will add many items for the food, correct? No? For preparing rice, we require water, rice, and salt. All these three items we require. These three materials are called as ingredients. The material which are required to prepare food are called as ingredients. I'll repeat, the material which are required to prepare food are called as ingredients. Okay. Again, come to activity 3. Here they have given some food items. You should write the ingredients. Okay. For example, idli. For preparing idli, what all you need? You need salt, you need rice, water and baking soda. All these ingredients you need for preparing idli. Okay. For preparing kheer, what you need? You ask your mother what you need and you should write here. Okay. This is also your activity. Okay. Come to the next page. Food is taken both in cooked as well as raw form. We eat raw fruits like apple, papaya, mango, etc. Some vegetables like radish, carrot, tomato, etc. are also eaten raw. Wheat, rice, pulses, meat, etc. are cooked before eating. Do you eat cucumber in raw or the cooked form? Okay, see, food can be eaten directly also, or we should cook the food and eat. Okay, if you cook the food, what will happen? If you cook the food, all the microorganisms present on the surface of the food items or the ingredients will be destroyed. Okay, when you boil the food items, the heat will kill all the microorganisms. Some foods like apple, papaya, mango, strawberry, all these fruits and some vegetables like carrot, tomato, radish, they all can be eaten in raw form. Before eating them in raw form, you should wash them neatly. Then only you should eat, or else the microorganism present on the surface of the fruits will go inside your body. Okay, so you should wash it properly and then you should eat. Okay, coming to the next topic, grouping of living organism on basis of their food habits. See, on the basis of their food habits, the entire living organism can be grouped into two parts or two classes. One is autotrophs, other is heterotrophs. Okay, now let us start reading about autotrophs. Autotrophs, living organisms which can make their own food, are called autotrophs. All green plants can make their food by the process of photosynthesis, that is, they can make their food from carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. They are called producers as they produce food for themselves and others. Okay. Now see, what are autotrophs? Autotrophs are living organisms which can produce their own food by using raw materials. Okay. Okay. Now, green plants are the example of autotrophs. Plants will produce their own food using carbon dioxide and water. Using carbon dioxide and water, they will prepare their own food. Okay. How will they produce their own food? They will produce their own food by the process called as photosynthesis. Okay, I'll tell the definition of photosynthesis. Please listen carefully. Photosynthesis is a process in which green plants produce their own food using carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, this is the definition of photosynthesis. Okay, now what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is the green color pigment present in the leaf. Okay, what does it do? What does this chlorophyll do? This will trap the sunlight energy. Energy from the sunlight it will trap and give it to the plants for preparing food. Okay, this is the use of chlorophyll. Now, how do we get carbon dioxide? How do these plants get carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is present in our atmosphere. There is a small tiny pores present on the leaf called as stomata. This stomata will absorb this carbon dioxide and give it to plants to prepare their food. Okay, since plants will prepare their food, they are called as producers. After preparing the food, what they will do? They will consume the food. How much food they require, they will consume and they will get energy. Remaining food, what they will do? They will store in different parts of the plant. Some plants will store it in fruits, some plant will store it in stem, some will store it in roots. Okay, these are only the vegetables or fruits what we eat, that is the excess food stored by the plant. Okay, so plants will produce food for themselves and also for other living organisms, so only they are called as producers. Now come to heterotrophs. Heterotrophs, living organisms which depend on autotrophs for their food directly or indirectly, are called autotrophs. They are also called consumers. Example, animals, human beings, etc. Okay, autotrophs. What are autotrophs? These autotrophs cannot prepare their own food. Okay, they will depend upon, sorry, heterotrophs. Heterotrophs, they cannot prepare their own food. Okay, they depend upon autotrophs for food. I have already told, autotrophs means they are the producers. Example of autotrophs are green plants. Okay, they are the example of autotrophs. See, these living heterotrophs, they cannot prepare their own food. They depend upon autotrophs directly or indirectly. What is the meaning of directly and indirectly? The heterotrophs can directly eat the autotrophs, that is plants. They can directly eat the plants or its products, or else these animals will feed on other animals also. Okay, that animal which is uh, like, for example, if tiger will eat deer, no, the deer indirectly it will eat what? The deer will eat green plants and its products. So lion is indirectly eating what? Green plants and its products through deer. So they are telling all heterotrophs are directly or indirectly dependent on autotrophs. Understood? Okay. On the basis of their eating habits, heterotrophs can be divided into various categories. See, heterotrophs can be divided into three major categories. One is herbivorous, second one is carnivorous, third one is omnivorous. What do you mean by herbivorous? Herb means plant, vorous means to eat. Plant eating animals are called as herbivorous. Okay. Carnivorous. Carni means flesh. Vorous means to eat. Okay. So flesh eating animals are called as carnivorous. Okay. Omnivorous. Omni means all. Vorous means to eat. The animals which will eat both plant products and animal products are called as omnivorous. Okay, let us read the definitions of herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous. Also their examples are also given here. Let us read. Herbivorous. Animals that eat plant are called herbivorous. Example: cow, buffalo, rabbit, deer, horse, giraffe. Okay. Carnivorous. Animals that eat flesh of other animals are called carnivorous. Example: lion, snake, eagle, cheetah, vulture, kingfisher, wolf. Okay, see here they have given the pictures of carnivorous animals and herbivorous animals. See, cow is a herbivorous animal, rabbit is a herbivorous animal, horse is also a herbivorous animal. Okay, again, lion is carnivorous animal, snake is carnivorous animal, bird is also a carnivorous animal. Now coming to omnivorous animals. All animals that eat both plants and animals are called omnivorous. Example: crow, cockroach, bear, human beings. Okay, these are the examples of omnivorous animals. Okay, let us come to the next topic. Food chain. Let us discuss the food chain given in the figure. Here green plants are eaten by goat. So goat is herbivore, which in turn is eaten by lion, which is carnivore. Man eat both plant as well as animals. So man is omnivore. Okay, you can see this picture given here. See, in this picture, the plant is the producer. It will produce the food required for both itself and other animals. The goat will feed on the plant. Okay, so goat is called as herbivorous. Okay, then lion will eat the goat. Lion is called as carnivorous. Here we human beings, what we will do, we will eat both plants also and goat also. So we are called as omnivorous. So plant is the producer and man, goat and lion, all these three are consumers. Okay, so plant is the producer, man, goat and lion is the consumer. Now what is the definition of food chain? Let us know the definition of food chain. A chain of organisms which shows how who eats whom. It is called as food chain. A chain of organisms which shows who eats whom is called as food chain. I'll repeat one more time. A chain of organisms which shows who eats whom is called as food chain. Okay, this is food chain is a diagram in which we can see which organism is eaten by which organism. This we can see in food chain. Okay, that's all for today. Let us revise what all we have studied today. Okay, first question what we will get is, why do we need food? Why do we need food? We have already explained this, no? Tell, why do we need food? Yes, we need food for energy, for growth and development of the body, for repair and management of the body, to fight diseases, to regulate all the body functions. Okay, for all these reasons we require food. Give two examples of autotrophs. Which are the, what is autotroph? Autotrophs are living organisms which prepare their own food. They are called as autotrophs. Example is what? Yeah, green plants. Any two example of green plants? Mango tree, carrot plant, tomato plant. All of these are example of autotrophs. Okay, even algae is also an example of autotrophs. Algae is a microorganism which has chlorophyll in it. Okay, that is also a example of autotroph, algae. Okay, what are heterotrophic organisms? The organisms which depend on autotrophs directly or indirectly are called as heterotrophic organisms. Why? Okay, once more I will repeat. The organisms which depend on autotrophs for food directly or indirectly are called as heterotrophic organisms. Okay. Fourth question is, distinguish between vegetarians and non-vegetarians. I have already explained this. Vegetarians means human beings who will eat only plant and its products. They are called as vegetarians. Non-vegetarians are human beings who will eat both plant and animals as food. Okay, this is the difference between vegetarians and non-vegetarians. On the basis of eating habits, animals can be divided into how many categories? See, animals are categorized into three categories. One is herbivorous. Herbivorous animals eat only plant and its products. Second one is carnivorous. Carnivorous animals will eat only flesh of other animals. Third one is omnivorous. Omnivorous animals will eat both plants and other animals. Okay students, that's all for today. Bye, have a nice day.